Part 247. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu. Chapter 2461. What automatically adjusts the brightness? These bright floors indicate that there are people practicing here. No light means no one. Normally, the first to third floors are prepared for students in the 1-star to 5-star sanctuary realm. 4th to 6th floors are for students and mentors of 6-star to 8-star realms. As for the 7th floor and above, basically only the mentors of the Holy Venerable realm will go there. So generally speaking, the 1st to 3rd floors are opened more often, and the other floors are rarely open. Murong, you seem to understand this aspect very well. While talking, he immediately explained. Forward. In the history of the Tower of Light, it seems that no students below the sanctuary level entered it to practice. Why don't you think about it again? Don't get used to it. Murong Yu is also thinking about Fang Fan in all aspects, for fear that he will have any accidents in it. Need not. That's fine. I'll go in and have a look first, and if it doesn't work, I'll come out. Fang Fan nodded silently, and then followed suit. Brother Fang Fan. Kid Fang Fan. Brother Fang Fan. At this moment, several sounds suddenly came from Fang Fan's ears. Fang Fan turned his head in astonishment, and immediately saw Gui Shat, Bai Piao, and Zhou Qiu Yao standing there. On the side there is concubine Xiang and a young woman whom Fang Fan doesn't know. When Fang Fan saw concubine Xiang naturally saw him too. Fang Fan opened his mouth and was about to say hello when concubine Xiang's complexion suddenly turned red. Then he turned his head quickly, as if he didn't see Fang Fan. Fang Fan's head was full of confusion, and now he couldn't understand more and more. Now he doesn't know how to operate it anymore, and he always feels that the melon seeds in his head are not enough. Are you all going to practice at the Tower of Light? Fang Fan narrowed his eyes, then asked back. Certainly. It is said that the Tower of Light is the most noble place in the Bright Academy, so of course I want to come and enjoy it. Bai Piao patted his chest and said confidently. I remember that you don't seem to have the time limit to practice in Guangming Academy. You weren't in the top 10 in the freshman assessment back then. Fang Fan froze for a moment, then looked at Bai Piao and said. Who said that you must be in the top 10 in the freshman assessment to get the opportunity to practice in Guangming Academy? As long as I have a star core, none of this is a problem. Bai Piao held his head high and his chest high, with a proud posture. Seeing Fang Fan's puzzled look, Zhuo Qiuyao immediately explained, at certain times, students can get training time by paying a large amount of star core to the school. The exchange ratio is 100 million low-grade star cores can be cultivated for 10 minutes. I just exchanged 10 hours of time. I spent 6 billion low-grade star cores. This time I must be promoted to the 6-star sanctuary. Zhou Qiuyao clenched his fists, and while talking, the excited expression on his face became more and more. It didn't look like he was joking. 10 minutes worth 100 million star cores. This is robbery. Calculated in this way, the 100 hours of training time in the Tower of Light that Fang Fan was rewarded in the freshman assessment was worth 60 billion? It turns out that this is the most valuable reward. Fang Fan pondered for a while, then looked at Bai Piao. No matter how he looked at it, something was wrong. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu. Chapter 2462. Don't tell me, you are such a picky person, you actually spent star cores to exchange. Fang Fan raised his eyebrows, and then said, isn't this just kidding? What's wrong with me? Why can't I spend star core exchange? The star core is as insignificant as this feather in my eyes. The key is to know the cards. I want to go to this Tower of Light to have a look. Bai Biao held her head high and held her chest high, quite excited. The key is, what are you spending this star core for? You don't know what's going on with you. Just you. Go inside and practice. What do you practice? Fix a hammer. Fang Fan looked at Bai Biao, and immediately complained. Bai Biao's physique is special. The defense is invincible, but this combat power has always been a mystery. Brother Fang Fan, why do I hear you mean that Brother Bai Biao has something wrong with his cultivation? Gisha raised his eyebrows, and then subconsciously asked. No. No problem. Don't ask nonsense. I just came here to practice. Fang Fan, don't talk nonsense. Bai Biao frantically winked at Fang Fan, and then his eyes flickered intermittently. Soon, Fang Fan received Bai Biao's voice transmission. I always feel that something is wrong with the Tower of Light. There may be a godhead hidden in it, so I'll take a look. After Bai Biao finished the sound transmission, Fang Fan understood instantly. The co-author of this guy wants to come in and take the sheep. Previously, Bai Biao followed Fang Fan to enter this Guangming Academy because of the potential existence of the godhead in the academy. According to what Bai Biao said, his lifespan is inherently limited, and he must find a godhead that matches him within 100 years for refining to continue prolonging his life. Seeing that the time is getting closer, Bai Biao is also anxious. Don't look at the look of joking on weekdays, but when that time comes, I really can't hold on. Fine. Then let's go in together. Are you going? Fang Fan looked at Murong Yu, and subconsciously followed a wave of address. Speaking of which, I haven't really called it before. The sudden address made Murong Yu's face turn red. What are you screaming for? I won't go, you go in by yourself. If you can't stand it, come out. Cultivation is not something that happens overnight. Murong Yu stretched out his hand, and pinched Fang Fan's waist pervertedly. In front of so many people, what is it called it's so embarrassing. But what's going on here that I always feel sweet? Murong Yu turned around, trying to hide his emotion. Master, are you okay? Concubine Xiang stepped forward, wanting to check the status of her own Murong Yu. Murong Yu was obviously more embarrassed when he saw Concubine Xiang. Hurry up and go in. Come back after training. Murong Yu sighed, she didn't know how to face her former favorite disciple. It's all Fang Fan, the little bastard, why is he so stubborn all the time? Murong Yu supported his forehead, feeling that it was really too difficult. Fang Fan led the crowd towards the entrance of the Tower of Light. Accompanied by Bai Biao, Gisha, Zhuoqiu Yao, Xiangfei, and a good sister of Xiangfei. From what they say, it seems to be called Ripple, the name is quite unique. I saw Bai Biao entertaining Ripple, the flattery on his face was beyond words. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 2463. This guy's little thought is basically obvious now, and I really thought that other people didn't notice it. Before, I wanted to show my courtesy in front of Xiangfei, but then it seemed that there was no such way, so I changed people. Fang Fan immediately followed suit. Good guy, now I'm just following a little smugly. Pay attention to your image. This big crowd. Fang Fan glanced at Bai Biao, and then complained. What's the big public and not the public? Didn't I learn all this from you? You didn't have any scruples about your image before. Bai Biao poked his neck and said arrogantly. This sentence came back, Fang Fan really didn't know how to say it. This seems to make a lot of sense. Brother Fang Fan, Brother Bai Biao has been a little stimulated recently. It's good to take it easy in this aspect. He said it all. When you meet the right one, you must make the first move, otherwise you will be kidnapped and run away again. He also vividly nicknamed you Beauty Harvester. Guisha winked and leaned over, and while talking, he couldn't hold it anymore, and his smile was so cheerful. Fang Fan. This gaudy thing, I know that some of these things are useless, the key is that it has no effect at all. What are you doing so impatiently? Seeing that this topic would continue to be discussed in depth, Fang Fan quickly stopped it. This kind of thing is not good in the end anyway, it might as well just hang on now. Fang Fan's pace became a little faster, and then he stepped into the Tower of Light. When I first entered it, I could indeed feel a sense of warmth. Immediately, the concentration of spiritual energy in the surrounding area also soared, and the speed of cultivation could be increased by 2 or 3 times on the first floor of the Tower of Light. Call. I have just entered the first floor and I feel this way. The reputation of the Tower of Light is really extraordinary. While talking, Gisha nodded deeply and said. Except for Fang Fan and Bai Biao, the rest of the people's cultivation bases are above the 4-star sanctuary realm. Guisha, a 4-star peak sanctuary realm. Zhuoqiuyao, a 5-star peak sanctuary. Xiangfei, the first stage of the 5-star sanctuary realm. That ripple is also the existence of the 5-star early stage sanctuary realm. The first to third floors of the Tower of Light are prepared for cultivators from 1-star sanctuary to 5-star sanctuary, and the third floor can almost increase the speed of cultivation by 10 times, which is also the goal of everyone's trip. Keep going up. This training speed bonus is too low. Bai Biao waved his hand, and then said arrogantly, he can't feel the so-called training speed bonus at all. Or because of his physical limitations, the accelerated training effect of the Tower of Light is very weak to him, and it can even be said to have no effect at all. This wave seems very real. Fang Fan boy, you see that you haven't set foot in the sanctuary yet, and you're just a quasi-sage, or you can stay here and practice. This first layer is just right for you. I'll just lead them up to the upper floor. It doesn't mean that the third floor needs to be at least a 4-star sanctuary to set foot on it, otherwise you will feel your whole body shattered. Bai Biao started a solemn and arrogant speech. This guy has changed his routine now. Divine system of the strongest card supplier in the end times, Doomsday strongest card supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 2464. He wanted to belittle Fang Fan in front of everyone, and then take this opportunity to show his face. Good guy. It's beautiful to think about. It's just that I don't know how much the execution strength and the possibility of execution are. And it is very possible to just put yourself in it like this, and it is not impossible to take a look at it comprehensively. Is it? If I can't go up, can Brother Bai Biao go up? Fang Fan raised his eyebrows and said with a smile beside him. Of course I do. I'm sure I can go up there. This level of difficulty is a hammer. I don't care at all. Boy Fang Fan, I'm all thinking about your body. Not everyone can be as good as me. Look at my defense, it's invincible. Fang Fan, you can't envy such things. Some of them are born. There is no way. There is really no way. Look, what can I say? While Bai Biao was bragging all over the world, the arrogant look on his face became more and more. Anyway, in all aspects, it behaves like a melon rind. Oh, is that so? It turns out that our brother Bai Biao is so majestic. Let's go, keep going. Fang Fan shrugged, then strode up. In fact, as soon as he walked in, Fang Fan noticed that if he wanted to practice faster in the Tower of Light, he needed to go higher. And if you want to go higher, you need to overcome the burning and tempering of the more intense divine fire. Relatively speaking, the average body really can't hold it. However, when this kind of divine vein fire touches the power of faith, it will be instantly assimilated by the power of faith into a kind of pure energy and return to the original body. The cultivation speed of others in the Tower of Light can reach up to 100 times, and Fang Fan can reach even higher. Probably that feeling, real and exciting. If I can stay here for a longer period of time, until these pure energies are completely gathered in my body, maybe it's time for me to be promoted. Fang Fan narrowed his eyes secretly, the corners of his mouth slightly raised, all kinds of thoughts gathered, and his feelings gradually became deeper. Fang Fan didn't continue arguing with Bai Biao. The more noisy the sky is now, the faster he will go up to slap his face. Dash all the way to the third floor of the Tower of Light. After arriving here, 4-star sanctuary existences like Gisha have touched the limit of pressure. Even 5-star sanctuary existences like Zhuoqiu Yao, Xiangfei, and Lianyi are still cultivating with great difficulty. But being able to reach 10 times the speed of cultivation here is enough. I'm so hot, so uncomfortable. Concubine Xiang moved to Fang Fan's side subconsciously, then tugged on Fang Fan's sleeve and said softly. Fang Fan's body instantly became stiff. Why do you feel a little nervous? Because you feel guilty about her? Feel sorry for him? Or because of something else? Fang Fan let out a foul breath, and at this moment, he still felt a more or less tingling sensation in his scalp. At this moment, thoughts were gathering in his mind, and he really didn't know how to react. Cough. Senior Xiangfei, what? Calm down. Are you okay? If you feel uncomfortable, take a break and don't be busy practicing. Fang Fan sighed with emotion, and then followed suit. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 2465. Speaking of which, it was Fang Fan who tricked concubine Xiang into calling him master on the third floor of the cafeteria. Of course, the real purpose is to complete the task, but after all, there is still a certain degree of utilization. So at this time, some sense of guilt is normal thinking and thinking. Don't pull me. Just let me stay by your side, you are so comfortable. While talking, concubine Xiang rubbed her little head against Fang Fan's chest. Fang Fan felt more and more embarrassed, this is not what he wanted to do. At this moment, Fang Fan could clearly feel the gradually distorted gazes of the people around him. Fang Fan boy, you had the nerve to talk about me just now. I'm just a little more attentive, you've already done it? Good guy. Green out of blue is better than blue. Bai Biao gritted his teeth in jealousy, while talking, he immediately complained from the side. Fang Fan looked helpless. This shit really has nothing to do with him. After this wave, it seems like he still has something to do. Bai Biao turned his head and wanted to continue showing courtesy to that senior sister Lianyi. But in an instant, he found that senior sister Lianyi, whom he was thinking of, had also come to Fang Fan's side. Although she was not as direct as Xiangfei, she also directly grabbed the sleeve of Fang Fan's other arm. That's it? Have you ever communicated? I have been exhorting and exhorting, even staring at all directions 24 hours a day, is something wrong? Bai Biao trembled his lips, his mind collapsed. Completely collapsed. What kind of stuff is this going on? Can it still work? Can you show me some face? Bai Biao now feels uneasy. This damn charm. Is it because my charm is not enough? Fang Fan. I will never stay with you in the future. A full man doesn't know how hungry a man is. You guys are doing such a great job. I just saw one here, good guy, I just had a face-to-face meeting with you. Bai Biao trembled her lips, feeling very wronged now. Why? Fang Fan opened his mouth, he is very innocent now. This has something to do with him having a hammer. This is not his subjective consciousness. Before Fang Fan could react, Goisha and Zhou Qiuyao also rushed over, and these two guys hugged Fang Fan's legs directly. Fang Fan. Is my current charm strong enough to kill both men and women? What are you two guys doing to join in the fun? Get out of here quickly. Don't bring such a harsh person. Fang Fan's calves twitched. What does this look like? After this wave, it's so humming difficult. There has been no change in his orientation. Brother Fang Fan, no. I found that holding your leg doesn't hurt me so much. Really, it's really uncomfortable to stay in the third floor of the Tower of Light. It's like a fire is burning inside your body, and you are like a big block of ice. Standing beside you is a comfortable cool. While talking, Gisha couldn't help showing an expression of enjoyment on his face. This looks like it really is the same thing. Fang Fan opened his mouth, his expression was a little strange. The description is a bit rough, but the words are not rough. If it doesn't work, what's the matter with sticking to him all the time? You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 2466. Is it because of the effect of the power of faith? Because of the power of faith gathered all over my body, I offset the power of that trace of divine vein fire in the Tower of Light. If that's the case, then it seems more normal. Fang Fan narrowed his eyes secretly, thinking in his heart, there was a different kind of light in his eyes. This idea seems to be extraordinarily real. Seeing these people want to hang on him like this, Fang Fan also felt his scalp go numb. This is what it looks like to do things. Fang Fan boy, did you use some means? Shameless. Despicable. Fang Fan boy, so you are like this. Boy Fang Fan, I figured you out a long time ago. Bai Biao was gnashing his teeth beside him, looking very excited. Don't pick on me. Now feel it yourself, it shouldn't be so uncomfortable. Fang Fan exhaled, and then distributed a little bit of the power of faith to Xiangfei and the others, so that they could also rely on the power of faith to offset the influence of the fire of the divine vein. It seems to be much more comfortable. Brother Fang Fan, your method is too clever. You don't come from some kind of heavenly material and earthly treasure, do you? Why do you have such a close contact with you? It is so beneficial. Now I stay in the third floor of the Tower of Light, and I don't feel any irritation. While talking, Zhuo Qiuyao sighed at the side, his eyes flashed with a different kind of light as he spoke, and the expression on his face changed as the thoughts gathered. Brother Zhuo Qiu is right. I've been wanting to talk about it before. There was a true God transformed from lotus roots in ancient times. Brother Fang Fan, what kind of precious medicine is your true God? Goisha hurriedly echoed, and the one who sang the same sound seemed to be the real thing. Fang Fan doesn't know what to say now. This chirping, seems to be the same thing. 3 people become tigers, that's probably it. Stop bullshitting. Actually, the most unbearable thing in this Tower of Light is the energy gathered by the fire of the divine vein. And I have something in my hand that can curb the disturbance of this divine vein fire, so naturally you won't feel uncomfortable. We can continue to attack higher levels now. In this way, the more we can increase the speed of cultivation. Fang Fan nodded silently, then continued to speak. This Tower of Light has 9 floors. Levels 1 to 3 are just the beginning. Continue to a higher tower floor. Will there be any problems with this? After all, we have never tried before. I heard that starting from the 4th floor, only senior students and mentors from the 6-star sanctuary to the 8-star sanctuary can set foot here. The average person simply cannot bear that level of stress. Goisha still seemed a little unconfident. While speaking, he subconsciously clasped his hands together, and then licked his lips while speaking. This expression and gesture were very real. These are the most authentic expressions that come from the heart. After all, Goetia is only in the 4-star sanctuary realm. It was enough to reach the 3rd floor, but now he has to continue to climb up, and he still seems a little unconfident. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shuyu. Chapter 2467. Brother Gisha, don't worry, since I said you can go up, it's fine. The 3rd floor of the Tower of Light can only increase the cultivation speed by 10 times, but on the 4th floor, it can increase the cultivation speed by 20 times. Fang Fan let out a mouthful of turbid air, and while talking, his eyes shone with a different kind of brilliance, and all this gradually became real. The higher you go, the more you can increase your training speed. Normally it is hard to resist such a temptation. Who doesn't want to be blown away? Moreover, the training time in Guangming Academy is so precious that they all want to squeeze out its value and strive for the greatest cost-effectiveness. Fang Fan led the way to the 4th floor. Afterwards, Bai Piao and others followed suit. After they entered, each felt it, and it didn't seem to have much impact. With the protection of the power of faith, their cultivation speed is increasing crazily. At this moment, outside the Tower of Light, everyone can clearly see the 4th floor of the Tower of Light suddenly brighten up. Originally only the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 6th floors were lit, but now the 4th floor is also lit. Of course, this is not a surprising thing. The 4th floor basically hosts students and mentors who are above the 6-star sanctuary realm. In fact, there are quite a lot of students and mentors in this realm. Not a big problem. The 4th floor is lit. According to the time calculation, it can't be that guy Fang Fan. He's just a quasi-sage, he can't be so radical. Murong Yu, who was standing outside the tower, muttered to himself, with a worried look on his face. This feeling is also from the heart. Sure enough, I really don't feel any discomfort. Brother Fang Fan, you are really amazing. What the hell did you put on us? This is really amazing. Hiss. 20 times the speed of cultivation. Cool. It's really cool. If I can stay here for a few days, I will definitely be able to break through to the 6-star sanctuary. Zhuoqiuyao swallowed a mouthful of saliva, and while talking, the excited expression on his face became more and more. These are the most direct and real feelings. The feeling of hugging the thigh is so cool. This practice is really cheating. You don't feel it? Why do I feel a little bone piercing? Bai Piao frowned, then glanced around. His expression seemed a little strange. Brother Bai Piao, you can't hold it anymore, can you? Why don't you ask Brother Fang Fan to help you out? Then you can feel like a fish in water. This feeling is really cool. As Gisha was talking, he immediately praised him very strongly. The feeling in this aspect is extremely real. This feeling is also very beautiful. Turn on the light. Aren't you kidding me? I need him to consecrate me. Let me tell you, this is a tricky behavior, and you will definitely not last long. Wait, I can still hold on to the upper tower floor, and you guys are definitely going to pick it up. Bai Piao took a deep breath, and while talking, the expression on his face became more and more excited. All aspects of this were very real. The corresponding expressive power is also very sufficient. Anyway, I'm thinking about being arrogant now. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shuyu. Chapter 2468. Fang Fan didn't pay much attention to this guy, but focused all his attention on the higher tower floor. Since the training time of the Tower of Light is hard one, it is natural to use it in all aspects. Fang Fan's initial goal is to climb to the top of the tower, and then enjoy a wave of bonus effects of 100 times the speed of practice. He really wanted to see what it would be like. Continue to go. Fang Fan nodded while talking, then said. Junior Fang Fan, I'm a little nervous. Can I hold your hand? Concubine Xiang asked solemnly. Fang Fan was stunned for a moment. How should he answer this? Fang Fan hesitated for a moment. Thanks. Brother Fang Fan, you are so kind. Concubine Xiang smiled, and Fang Fan could smell a burst of fragrance immediately. Fang Fan opened his mouth, feeling a bit awkward about what to say and what to do at the moment. After stepping on the fifth floor of the Tower of Light immediately lit up. At the same time, the fourth floor was completely extinguished. In this way, people outside the Tower of Light will naturally know that someone wants to continue to attack higher levels of the Tower of Light. Now there is a little more discussion, and they are all discussing which sky level student or mentor has entered. Why do I feel that this is Fang Fan? Murong Yu muttered to himself, with a strange expression on his face. Climbing over the fifth floor of the Tower of Light is just the beginning. Now everyone has nothing to say at all, anyway, just follow Fang Fan directly, and after this wave, nothing will happen anyway. As for Bai Piao, his complexion is getting redder. How pretentious I was before, how aggrieved now. Too hot. That kind of heat comes from the kind of dryness deep in my heart. The power of the fire of the divine vein penetrated too much. Now Bai Piao does not have the protection of the power of faith, so it is equivalent to directly hedging against the fire of the divine vein. This naturally made it even more uncomfortable. Brother Bai Piao, what's wrong with you? If you can't hold on, just tell me, I'll help you light up or something, that's okay. Fang Fan borrowed a wave of Gui Sha's words. While speaking, the corners of his mouth rose. Recently, Bai Piao is too floating, and it is necessary to follow the rectification. I'm okay. There's no problem. This heat is nothing at all. Continue. Boy Fang Fan, you definitely won't be able to hold on for long, so just hold on forcibly. Bai Piao is now slapping his swollen face to make himself fat. The face can be slapped and the head can be touched, but this face cannot be lost. Okay then, let's go on. Can you keep up? If it doesn't work, just squeak, it's no big deal. We are all brothers. Fang Fan patted Bai Piao's shoulder and said sincerely. Bai Piao's body trembled, obviously he couldn't hold on anymore, but on the surface he still looked full of arrogance. In any case, this force cannot be dropped. I'm fine. Don't worry, this little scene is nothing. Fang Fan, first, make arrangements for your own call. Bai Piao wiped the sweat from his forehead, subconsciously swallowed a mouthful of saliva, looking extremely indifferent. Anyway, this aspect is very casual. This expression is also very real. It's all about saving face. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 2469. Then continue. Continue to the 6th floor. You can hold on. Fang Fan was speechless when he saw Bai Piao's appearance of wanting face and suffering. This guy is really floating. When Fang Fan and others entered the 6th floor from the 5th floor, the 5th floor of the Tower of Light went out instantly. However, the 6th floor of the Tower of Light was already lit up, so it hasn't changed much. Who? At this moment, on the 6th floor of the Tower of Light, a practice room was open, and then a young man stood there with a particularly rich expression. Look at your attire, are you students of the academy? It shouldn't be, The schools and colleges that have the ability to come to the 6th floor of the Tower of Light must at least have a 6-star high-level sanctuary realm or above. There are not many people with this kind of cultivation in the school. I don't seem to have seen you. Which college do you belong to? What grade are you in? Did you break in by mistake? The young man standing on the 6th floor of the Tower of Light was talking, and then walked over curiously and asked. At the same time, he also discovered the cultivation of Fang Fan and others. The highest is only the 5-star peak sanctuary realm. Even the quasi-holy realm are here. Am I drunk again? Hi, drinking was a mistake. But the taste is so good. While the young man was talking, he immediately took a sip of fine wine for himself. Holding a wine gourd in his hand, the aroma of wine suddenly wafted, and smelling the aroma of the wine could even make people feel intoxicated. You are a drunkard, brother drunkard. Really you? Hiss, I didn't expect to see a real person today. It's amazing. An idol-level character. Suddenly Zhuoqiu Yao's eyes lit up, and his lips trembled as he spoke. Fang Fan raised his eyebrows, his face was stunned at the moment. Drunkard. The name is very artistic. Is this drunkard famous? Fang Fan looked at concubine Xiang, who was still fragrant. This scent has an inexplicable feeling that makes people want to be close. Especially now that concubine Xiang is still holding on to Fang Fan's arm, Fang Fan subconsciously squeezes it in. How should I put it, Fang Fan is really not that kind of casual person, but the fragrance on Xiangfei's body is really special. It's more than famous. It is said that it has only been 100 years since I joined the academy, and I have already been promoted to the 7-star sanctuary. This is the face of our Guangming Academy. During the student exchange match with the Academy of Darkness, Brother Drunkard beat the entire audience with a wine gourd. You're so elated. Brother Drunkard has always been a legend. It is said that very few people can see senior brother alcoholic, he spends most of his time practicing. And the school specially assigned him a permission, he can practice in the Tower of Light at will, without any time limit. This is a privilege that even the tutors of the Holy Realm of Guangming Academy have never had. While talking, the expression on Xiangfei's face changed. Obviously, this alcoholic's reputation is very strong. In other words, it has shaken the entire Guangming Academy. There is a high probability that he is the kind of pride. But this kind of proud son of heaven seems to be a bit addicted to alcohol. Okay, I've seen it before, let's hurry up and move on. The 50 times cultivation speed of the 6th floor is still a bit short. Fang Fan pondered for a while, and then followed up. Divine system of the strongest card supplier in the end times, Doomsday strongest card supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 2470. This is an attitude. After this wave, the posture is vividly displayed. As for the others, there is no need to say more. 50 times the cultivation speed of the Tower of Light, Fang Fan still couldn't find the feeling of being promoted, or something was missing. Concubine Gishaxiang and the others were already used to Fang Fan's words, but it was the first time for that drunken day-level student of Guangming Academy, Jigui, to put down the wine gourd, stare at Fang Fan with wide-eyed eyes. Boy, you are arrogant. Quasi-Holy Realm actually wants to go to the 7th floor. Then even I dare not set foot on the 7th floor. What are you doing up there? Do you know how dangerous it is? Don't go up to die. Belch. The drunkard, a day-level student of Guangming Academy, hiccuped, then continued to talk. The expressions on his face are very real when he speaks. This time the artistic conception is manifested, and there is an inexplicable sense of reality. You can stay here and have a drink. Brother Jigui, let's go up first, see you by fate. Fang Fan smiled slightly and didn't say much, just continued to walk up indifferently. Now that we've reached this point, there's no need to engage in these things. Anyway, it's done when we go up. You are really, crazier than me. Boy, if you don't listen to the old man's words, you will suffer. I've been to the 7th floor once before, and I retreated without even taking 3 breaths. Do you know the harsh difficulty of entering the 7th floor? The drunkard, a day-level student of Guangming Academy, continued to talk while shaking his head, making it seem quite mysterious. In fact, in Fang Fan's eyes, they are all blind. As for doing these things, there is no effect at all, and is it not good? You can't be a little low-key. Hard difficulty. Is it difficult? Isn't it enough to have feet? Fang Fan shrugged, looking indifferent. Drunkard. Actually, I'm really crazy, but in front of you, I'm convinced. Hi, you can really pretend. I'm a drunkard, I'm putting my words here today. If you can step on the 7th floor and hold on for 3 breaths, I'll write the word drunkard backwards. The drunkard, a day-level student of Guangming Academy, patted his chest, and said that he was inexplicably excited. What's the use of writing your name backwards? Do you want another one? If I really go up, you will give me the entire 180 billion low-grade star core? No matter how bad it is, 30 to 50 billion is not too little. The corner of Fang Fan's mouth raised silently. He didn't expect to meet someone who was taken advantage of in this tower of light. Cough. Let's forget about this. No star core. Otherwise, I would have gone out for a while. Don't talk about tens of billions, not even a few million. Belch. Drinking too much star core. The drunkard, a day-level student of Guangming Academy, shook the wine gourd in his hand, and the drunkard's posture was undoubtedly revealed. Fang Fan curled his lips. The co-author is a poor ghost. Then what's valuable on you? Take it out and bet with me. I can also bet against you with the same bet. Fang Fan nodded, and then followed suit. The drunkard, a day-level student of Guangming Academy, thought for a while, then sat down on the ground casually and said, I think the wine gourd in my hand is still worth some money, and the remaining weapons are all pawned as wine it cost.